Hey guys, TommyBryson here and welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'll tell you exactly how to go to college and graduate without zero debt. Now, you have to know something. I did everything wrong. I went to college and I graduated with over $20,000 in debt. My friend went to college and graduated over $35,000 in debt, even though he got a job getting paid over 200 grand. And my other friend went to college, graduated with over $80,000 in debt, but he only got a job that paid him just about 18 bucks an hour. The point is, this is not a, if you make a lot of money, it justifies the loan, or hey, you ended up making a big mistake and that's why you got loans. No, the answer is the system is set up for you to get caught and for you to get into a bunch of debt. In this video, I'm gonna help you unlearn the lies you basically learned in high school, that college is a must do, you gotta go to college, I'm looking out for your best interest. The truth is, high schools are looking out for their best interest by having better metrics, basically saying our students end up going to college, and that basically gets more funding into that high school. More on that maybe on a later video, but let's get right into this one, and do me a favor and smash the like button. Now, the very first thing you have to understand is this. I am going to be unbiased here, not like your high school counselor. You don't have to go to college if you don't know what you want to do, or for example, if you just don't want to. There are a lot of jobs out there that are available that pay over $70,000. One is an elevator repair person or installer, also for example an electrician, and also a web developer. That's a list I basically compiled in less than 5 minutes of work of searching on Google. I don't know why we go to high school and then we're committing to a career for 4 years and tens of thousands of dollars, and we do very little research on what it is we actually want to do as far as a career. There are a lot of options. If you ask me, Tommy, would you have gone to college? The answer is absolutely not. If I could go back and see exactly my mistakes, I probably would have gone to college, but not the way I did it. So I didn't end up with a bunch of debt. That's why I'm making this video, to help people don't make the same mistake I basically made. Now, here's something that is super important. Tommy, what if I don't know what I want to do, but I do know for sure I want to go to college? The answer is, that's a very expensive way to experiment and figure out what you want to do. But the most important thing you actually want to understand is general education courses. Those are courses you're going to take that have nothing to do with your major. So as an accountant, I was basically stuck, for example, getting English classes and also, for example, math classes, ethics, marketing, and even Excel. A bunch of classes and courses that basically I did not need for my major, but they are general education courses. Now, the point is, everyone is going to have to take these, and they'll last over a year. So you have over a year to figure out what you want to do. So during this time, I recommend don't go to the school you want to go to if it's too expensive. If you're going to have to get into debt, go to community college or go to a college that's basically paying you to actually go there. The one that costs you the least amount of money, and take those general education courses there. I did not do that. And credits would have been in the college right next to my house, literally less than $300. That was Bronx Community College at the time. And I ended up going, for example, to another college that was literally like an hour away, and those credits were like $700 per credit. The point is, I should have gone to community college, taking those general education courses or general education credits, and got them for basically free, because financial aid would have covered it. I could also work and cover it and not have to worry about any debt, and then transfer over to a 4-year school. But I didn't do that, and that's why I'm making this video, obviously, so you don't make that mistake. Now, how exactly do you go about picking a school? People pick schools like it's, for example, like a status symbol. My kid goes to this college, or the kid might say, I want to go to that college because that's where the parties are at, or whatever it is. The point is, you have to look at picking a school, picking a college as a transaction. take the emotion out of it. Colleges love to paint themselves as, for example, an experience. This is not Disney World, okay? It's not that. It's not you going somewhere to experience something. No, it's you going somewhere to get a degree, to get a job, and you're paying for this thing. It's not an experience whatsoever. It is a transaction that happens to also give you somewhat of an experience, okay? But here's my overall idea. If I could go back and let's say I got rejected by a lot of schools. I only got accepted by basically around 2 of them, I think 3, maybe 3, okay? What I would have done was basically ignored the private schools that basically accept just about everyone because they just want your money, and gone, for example, to a public college or like a state college overall, even if it was community college, and I had one right across the road. So the point is, I would have gone to that one. This is basically, if you don't get accepted to where you want to go, gone to that one, gotten a higher GPA in the next like 1 or 2 semesters, and then transfer myself over with my credits over to the school I actually wanted to go to, which at the time was Baruch. And I could have done that very easily, but instead I chose to go to the private school, spend a bunch of money and all that stuff, and that was basically the wrong choice, okay? Now, let's say that's not your case, that you actually are choosing between schools you actually like. Which one do you choose? The answer is, I have a very simple rule for this one. Choose the one that gives you the most money, and that's going to give you what you actually want. So if you have 3 schools, one school is 100K, another school is 50K, another school is 25K, right? One includes like doorman and all this other stuff, blah, 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 but they all give you the same exact major. They all have, for example, good rapport when it comes to people graduating and actually getting jobs. If that's the case, then which one do you pick? Well, pick the one that gives you the most money in scholarships and is actually going to not get you into debt, all right? That's the whole idea. So that might be, for example, not the cheapest school, but maybe the higher end school that's giving you even more money in scholarships. When you do the math, is basically not costing you that much money. But Tommy, what if I don't have any options to go to a college and not get into any debt, all right? Well, it's very important stuff. There are 3 ways to pay for college, and here's how you go about it. Number 1 is, while you're in college, don't believe the hype of, I have to get all straight A's, all like a high GPA, president's list. No, you just have to get the concepts of what you're actually studying and being able to do your job and perform. I think grades are kind of like overrated for the most part, and you can get a job while you're in college, whether it's work study, whether it's retail, whether it's working at Starbucks, whatever it is. Just get a job, also go to college, work and study basically at the same time. And by the way, there are jobs within the college like tutoring, or maybe in the actual like college like office or whatever, and those jobs are a lot more easier and more flexible overall. You can do those jobs, get paid minimum wage, and use that money to pay for school, okay? Second, spend your extra time applying for as many scholarships as you possibly can before you go to college and even while you're in college. Before I went to college and I applied for scholarships, I basically got a college to give me about $25,000. While I was in college, like deep semesters into it, I also applied for another scholarship and I got over $10,000. That's my point, okay? That is possible. You can do that, all right? So if you can fill up an application and get a scholarships like within 10 minutes and get paid like $500 or $10,000 or $1,000, that's a lot of money. And then third, the best way to pay for college, again, is going to be picking the right college. Don't pick the college you actually want to based on looks. I feel like it's so pretty. I feel like it's so nice. I feel like I'm gonna have like a fun time here. I'm gonna be able to be independent from my parents. And by the way, this is my last piece of advice here. Independence is overrated, especially with college. If you're going to a college to get, for example, space from your parents and get independence, that's not what college is for. Again, look at college as a transaction. If I could stay with my mom while I'm going to the college right next to my house, I would do that because that allows me to work, not pay as many bills, to save up, to pay for college, and graduate fully debt-free. That's my point, all right? So just to summarize this video, the way you go to college and you don't get into any debt is by picking the right college, the college that gives you the most money, applying for a bunch of scholarships and working while you're in college and basically spending all the money possible to pay for school. This is the person that went to college, worked and made money, spent it all on garbage, got scholarships, took more loans, and still graduated with that. That was me. Don't make the mistakes I made, okay? And this is the person also that got rejected by colleges but got desperate, went to a private school instead of just saying, I'll go to community college, get my GPA up, and then transfer over to Baruch, which I wanted to, and then I'll do my finance degree there. But I didn't do that. And that's why I ended up the way I ended up with that. Hope, thankfully things worked out for me. But don't make that mistake and think things are going to work out for you, because I don't think they worked out as well for my friend who owed over $80,000 and was making $18 an hour working as security in a hospital. That's not fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, like and subscribe. Peace. Long-term team out.